Welcome back. So today's episode is mainly going to be, I think, getting a cellar up and running. I think after that task is completed, we're going to go and try and get a hold of some cords. Let's go through our inventory really quick. So we're going to need a single trapdoor. Probably 3 ladders. A single door. Probably not any oak slabs. Definitely not any fire starter. And then maybe tonight we'll stay up and make some more clay items because I don't think a single pot, a single crock, and a single bowl are going to last very long. Maybe I put the shelf just above the chests. Or actually, I'll put them on next to the door. That seems like a good spot for them. Set that there. And this is going to be where we put down our cellar. Like that. And then we already have our ladders. So I think we're just going to dig down into the soil. And one little feature with ladders, if you were not aware, is you can actually skip a block with them. And actually right now I can still use this ladder, I just have to jump. That is perfectly usable. I might beautify this a little more, because that is kind of silly looking. Anyway, so we're going to go down, and this block needs to stay put. Just for starters, it'll probably just be a little 3x3 area. And in all honesty, for your first winter, first harvest, a 3x3 area is more than sufficient, really. But for now, I think all we're going to need is a few shelves. And a vessel. And we may even make another vessel today. Just going to put that guy down right there. So we have rot. We are really not doing too well on food right now, actually. I believe that means we are completely out. So maybe we clear out our inventory and go foraging for some more, as well as some more clay. It's very rich in clay deposits. You can see we're standing on one right now. It's got a slightly reddish hue. And there's a giant one over here, as well as I think some peat over here, or that could be forest floor from beneath trees we've chopped down. But and this is definitely peat, actually, so I think that's forest floor over there. But you can pretty easily pick out changes in color that will indicate clay or peat deposits when you use the colored map. So we're going to grab some right here. And then I think, looking on our map, we've gone this way a pretty good ways. I think it's time we went this way and just kind of looked around a little bit. Alright, so let's go this way. And I kind of want to beat the sun. It's already 11 o'clock. I don't know how far we're going to get, although we do have a copper knife on us, so... Oh yeah, there is a... This clay deposit's pretty big. I've already tapped into it a little bit. But I do kind of want to scout around, see what's immediately surrounding our chosen spot. And it appears there's more copper over here. It appears there's plenty to eat in this little valley. Even mushrooms. And cabbage. Wow. What a find. I do have a mod that allows cabbage to naturally spawn. However, it is still fairly rare from my experiences using it. It might be interesting to try and move south for the winter. I highly doubt I'm going to be at a point where capable of doing that, though. This is very story focused, and moving any kind of great distance is kind of a pain without a mount, like an elk. This appears to be a pretty good hunting ground. It's nice and open and flat. There's goats, maybe even moose come fall. We got plenty of red currants for our porridge later. Some extra for some snacks. You see, it's only 2 o'clock. This is an actual bauxite biome, it looks like. And more mushrooms. But I think we're full up on berries. I don't know that I can eat everything that I have, or more than I already have, without it rotting. Well, very interesting, but it doesn't appear to hide any vessels, which is really what I'm after. Yeah. Right then, so where do we go? There's a trader down here. It might be interesting to go see what he's got on offer. But it appears to be more ruins this way, so I think I'm going to keep heading this direction. So hopefully that doesn't come back to bite me. Polished rock, that's interesting. No vessels, though. More turnip seeds. More rye. Yeah. Doesn't seem to be much of anything. However, this is really pretty. I wanted to be next to the water for shipbuilding and such, but this would have been a really cool base location, I think. Got a nice forest over here. And speaking of forests, I believe that's a bear. That's a deer. Guess we'll see how serious that bear is. Is that a bear? I believe it is. This is incredibly stupid, by the way. You shouldn't do this. But I also kind of want to see what sort of tree. Red apple. So we're going to back away. And keep a mental note. That bright green speck on the map. We'll put a fruit tree down if I can find it. Right there. And it's 16:30, so I think I'm going to swing down to the coast, see what's going on over there, and then just follow it home. And a ton of copper right here. Holy crap. It's like the mother load of copper. I wonder if... Can I pick it up? I can't. Sometimes if things are a little too close to the trader, it'll get claimed, and then you can't touch it. What are you? Survival goods? Axes, spears. So, weapons. Oh, he sells halite. For 3 gears? That might not be a bad trade. What do you sell this for? Rice bread? It's a little strange. Spelt bread. So, essentially a little over a full stack. Or no, half a stack of bread for some halite. Grinds into 2. Which is used for brine, which I need 2 liters of water for every one of these, so that makes 32 liters of brine, not even a full barrel, for 3 gears. And I need, what do I have the most of? Probably turnips or carrots. Let's look at turnips. So 1 liter per. So I can make 32 pickled turnips. And yeah, it just preserves vegetables for longer. It'd be nice to find a halite deposit, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. I don't believe I have ever found halite naturally in this game. Even with better prospecting, it just kind of, I don't know, it doesn't really spawn all that often. Which is very strange, I think, because natural salt formations, or rock salt, are pretty common in the world, actually. There's a reason why salt is so cheap. I think we're going to cut through the edge of this forest and hope that nothing bad happens to us. I don't see anything off the top. Oh yeah, we just got little raccoon dogs over here. Shouldn't be any wolves, and I think we'd spot a bear pretty quick if it was over here. Then again, I got taken by surprise. Very much so. I don't think I put that clip in the montage yesterday, or last upload rather, last episode. However, right around here, I think, I ran face first into a bear, and I don't know if it's because I'm a malefactor. I just got really lucky and he didn't see me, even though I was right in his face. Oh, it's calm outside right now. I guess I could do some collecting of grasses, and actually, if I'm not mistaken, I have a scythe leaning up somewhere. I do. So we're going to put this clay away for now. We'll do that later when it gets really dark. We're going to put all our spelt and all of our little foraged things in here. And as you can see, they last much longer. This lasts for almost an in-game year. That's about 10 months. This lasts for a week in the cellar. And grain lasts for like 6 years. I will eventually collect all these berry bushes and bring them closer to home. Because I think I can get a copper bar or 2 and begin making juice and wine to preserve fruit for winter. If I can find bees, then that makes all of this much easier as far as food storage is concerned. So I think you can get a good 2 or 3 wax harvests before winter if you find them before summer. Looks like I'll be needing some more firewood, unless I do have some in here, as well as peat. So while that's cooking up, we'll grab our tin bronze ingot, make ourselves a set of shears. Alright. Shears are complete. It is 2 o'clock in the morning. Let's put our extra little bit of tin bronze that's been recycled. And I don't have any water nearby. It doesn't seem like. I should probably move a source block up here so that I can do my tanning more easily once I find limestone. But for now, I think I will just hang those up and let them cool on the rack. And until sunrise, I'm gonna grab my clay, which is over here, and I'm gonna start doing all the stuff. So I think I'm gonna go with 3 of those vessels. Crocs. Yeah. So that's 4, 8, 16, 24 Crocs. And I'll probably do even more later on. And then 2 sets of bowls for lighting purposes. And away we go. Alright. So that's all our pottery. For now, anyhow. It is 10:05 in the morning. It means it took me roughly 10 hours in-game to make all of these. And now, where to grab everything? That is a wolf. To play vanilla, your first go around, and once you're pretty familiar with the mechanics, then you can decide what mods you want to add. So I think if you start out with modded, and I think that'll be plenty. Maybe I'll replant some. And I think while I'm here, actually, I'm going to grab some of this peat that's just lying around. I'll use that to fire my pit kilns, and in theory, they should be done, I think, 25% faster. I'm not entirely sure how it works. I know using firewood in a pit kiln, it takes just about a full 24 hours. You could argue using firewood for predictability, but I think pit kilns are about the best use case for peat. That away. These storage vessels take 8 of the fuel type items, whereas things like regular pottery or even shingles only take 4. And as far as I'm aware, storage vessels are the only ones that do that. So I could be wrong. I thought it was anvil molds for a while, but I think they reduced it because anvil molds are no longer reusable. But thankfully, we shouldn't need another anvil mold because we were able to skip directly to bronze. We'll get all these lit up. And we can find something else to do for the other half of the day. Store that there. I say we start looking at a little path up to the top. So realistically, I don't think the front of my house will be expanded out much further. So maybe we start too wide, maybe, kind of right here. Yeah, we'll go this way. We'll have some slabs here, and that is not what I meant to do. Just like that. Have a little corner. 2 more slabs. Have another little guy right here. Fill in that gap. We might start prospecting next episode and trying to get access to some better resources. Mainly, I would like to find a source of iron. Just because I think that'll save us a lot of time come winter, and wow, that was almost perfect. And I guess we've still got a few hop-ups, but it is definitely faster than what it was. And I'll probably wall that in with some cobble once we start doing a little more mining. But for now, that should do just fine. 9 o'clock at night, so I think I'm going to take a nap and revisit that issue in the morning. And we're up. 4:30. It's about the time I wake up in real life, too. I don't know where that copper prospecting pick is. I think the best place to start would be the cliff face over here, just because of ease of access to the stone, and then we know what is hiding underneath the base. So you start out with vanilla. You have density search and this no, not distance mode, area sample mode. So it's like 6 blocks in every direction. And you'll utilize those two. You'll use this to find percentages. So you'll break a block here, 2 more samples. You need to go 3 blocks away. Maybe that wasn't quite enough. Maybe it's 4. Okay, yeah, it is 4. So now we'll go over here. So lead, coal, and a little bit of lignite, which I think that is iron. No, that is just more coal. That's brown coal as opposed to black coal. So terrible ore deposits right next to our base. So we're going to have to go out a bit. And I think we just go this direction to start with. We've already kind of explored over here. We know there's copper. But if we can find another valuable ore, like iron, out in this direction, maybe also check on the wildlife, see what kind of hunting we can do. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. Large area. It's been a little while since I've used this mod, so maybe we do a little testing. So we have tons of quartz, tons of bismuth, sphalerite. Okay, so we can make bismuth bronze tools in an emergency. That's zinc, I believe. Oh, wow. A light temporal storm is approaching. Well, no matter, we'll dig a hole and hide in it when it starts getting closer. Which actually very well could just be in the ground right here. But I think it warrants digging out and getting a waypoint out to see what that kind of density is. 2 more samples. One more sample. So 200 blocks away probably means not down, but to one of the sides in that case. You can see how it's kind of a pain to prospect in an area like this. You have to dig down for every single little node search. And that is not what I meant to do. Samples. One more sample. So we went the wrong way. Looks like. Oh, that is very unfortunate. There's decent native copper over here. Let's sample this area. Density search. Minuscule amounts of... Oh, it's a good copper deposit. But not much else. Like I said earlier, we have tons of copper marked out. It's all surface copper, so it's probably not abundant or anything. Even medium density, that catches up pretty quick. So let's take a sample here. Very poor magnetite. That's up a few percentage from where we were. It was 15. I wonder... Let's go out this way. Alright, let's take another sample right here. Very poor magnetite, but significantly higher, so this is the right direction, I think. Oh boy, here's a tiny forest. I have 3 dirt on me, so if the temporal storm hits while I'm out, then it won't be that big a deal. I think we found a good direction to go in. But, I think I want to be home for this temporal storm that's coming. I think we're going to head back. It's already 1400. And maybe we skirt around the mountain the other way and take some samples and see what we come up with. Alright then. So it's probably dark out at this point. Oh, no it's not. Let's make a break for it. So for starters, we grab these. And then Crocs do not stack, unfortunately. So even with the reed chest, I believe we're going to need more than one trip. Yeah, that's full. is everything. Let's go put these crocs away. Actually, I probably could have put my picks away as well. And made fewer trips, but oh well. We'll set this right there. And that is all of our crocs. It's 2 shelves of crocs. I think if you have enough grain, that is more than enough red meat meals to make it through the winter. So now what we're going to do, let's go downstairs. Set these up so we have more than enough for that farm now. And I think the goal for today is hunting. Although there's something to be said for saving the goats and trying to domesticate them. However, I don't really care about that right now. Wonder if she fell in that cave. Nope. Yeah, there she is. Oh, we see her now. Let's head her off into the water. It's not working out as intended. Scare them into the water. Just like that. One's running off. That's okay. This might be all we need. We have 3 fat. And almost enough red meat for a full pot. But enough for 4 servings anyway, I believe. So maybe we'll run with that. We'll just throw some turnips in there. That should still fill up our satiety all the way. And 4 large rawhides. Pretty huge. It's a good hunting trip. Actually, there's a goat right here. Let me see if I can get him. Dang it. One of the downsides to playing as the malefactor. Yeah. Also, the malefactor is incredibly inaccurate. So, decent weight. Maybe we'll get some extra fat, and we do. Don't care too much about horns. They just grind up into bone meal. Actually, bone meal is a good phosphorus fertilizer. So if you're really looking for early game, trying to maximize your crops early game, grinding up any bones from hunting, and then using them on your fields will assist in that greatly, because the higher your fertility in the field, the faster your crops will mature, I believe is how it works. Light this guy up. I think we will grab all of these and turn them all into lanterns. Then I can keep these torches on me. So we'll have one there. We'll kind of play around with it, see how many we really need. One there. And one here. And in theory, this should be enough to prevent monsters from spawning. Build that up. Sit it right there. Rye porridge, good for 3.6 days. What about on here? 3.3 days. Alright then, what about in my inventory? Fresh for 3 days. Maybe it's the berries, I think, is what's messing it up, because this is good. So for the raft, we will need 3, the raft itself, and 2 for the ore, so I have 1 extra. Actually, I think I also have some in the house, so that's cool. My maple raft, as well as a crude ore. Maybe it's the other way around. Yeah, it is. And I have a reed chest on my back. So tomorrow, I guess get ready for a time lapse while I go exploring. So it's really all that's going to happen. I am going to bring I'm going to put this oil lamp here. It's not really going to prevent that many spawns, but it will light things up for me so I don't feel so vulnerable in my own house. Raft. And we're off. So we've already been right here. So I'm going to change course. Instead of going to this area that I've already been to, there's bauxite all the way over there too. There's no limestone in the vicinity of this lake. Maybe this is just a meme. Or that guy stop him digging before he finds diamonds. -15. Yeah, 1,000 blocks in each direction. No limestone. A structure, though. Maybe we'll get lucky with the tool vessel. That'd be pretty sweet. Forage. Blue clay, it looks like. Blacks. Nothing else. Oh, there's one. What about over here? Ore? Copper, maybe? Yeah. Nothing over this way. That seems to be a road, or maybe a rampart of some kind, buried in the silt. What's over here? Oh, two. More ore. Lead. Some poultices. And grass. I said we were going to get quartz at the start of the video. So in keeping with that, maybe we'll get lucky and we'll find a few pieces of clear. We can use it with some lead to make a few windows for the house. Here's we've got enough for 3, which would make 6, I think. Alright, so we didn't find any limestone, and we didn't completely find iron. However, we did get our hands on some quartz, just like we said at the beginning of the video. So, we're going to make the most of it. We're going to fill in these windows finally. And turn this little house into a home. And already I'm screwing it up. And then I believe... Will you go away? I believe I can put that in my offhand. Turn these into chiselable blocks. And just have semi-clear quartz glass windows. And maybe do the same thing up here. Would be quite nice to have a window looking out into the distance. And some natural lighting in here. Yeah. That's quite nice. I might actually, now that I'm thinking about it, grab some of these maple logs that I'm probably not going to use for anything but firewood. put this dry grass away. And actually, I think I'm going to have to make some more chests here soon. Make this a little window frame. Out of maple logs. Yeah, just like that. I probably could do the same thing on the outside and remove this little layer. But I don't want to do too much chiseling when there's plenty to do elsewhere around the homestead. So, but stuff like this, chiseling, making things kind of cozy, that's a winter activity when you have nothing else to do. But I kind of wanted to show it off. So I think it is a really, really neat feature in the game. So we have 44 flax fibers. And I think that lets us make enough linen to make an, oh, I can't make an aged wooden bed. And I can make a regular wooden bed, which is 3 hay bales and 6 boards. So I think we'll just make it out of that right here. So we'll get rid of this thing. Now we have a real bed. Ain't that something? I think we make a bed table for it. Just like that. Then we'll set the lamp on top of it. Yeah. I think that looks nice. It's coming along, slowly but surely. And it looks like it is the end of day 5. So we're going to take a real nice nap in our bed. And I will see you guys next time.